Mr. Tilo, your mic is muted. Your mic, check your mic, please. Check your mic. Your mic is muted. Check your mic, Mr. Tilo. Your mic is muted. Your mic is muted, Mr. Tilo. Mr. Tilo, your mic is muted.
I welcome you again to today's edition of the program, a review of Tuesday's debate under the freeze light. And it's an important week for us. So we are going to have a review of what happened, in the debate. But before we do that, we'll have important things that happened this week. Today we had our principal, His Excellency Peter Obi, in Port Harcourt, and he was accompanied by his running mate, Yusuf Dati. And the occasion was a commissioning of flyover built by Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Nyesom Wike. Now, we could see it was a display of brotherhood, oneness, unity of the country, devoid of political affiliation. And this is the kind of things that we want to be having in this country. We want to see more of this, okay? Not sectional affiliation and all that. We are not, at war with ourselves. We are one in this country. And so Governor Nyesom Wike extended a hand of brotherhood to our own principal to come and commission this flyover, all right? And Peter Obi, with Yusuf Dati and others from Labour Party. And you could see the joy. River State welcomed Peter Obi with so much joy. Everywhere was Obi, Obi, Obi. And I could not contain my joy. We know what we want, and we can see that happening. So thanks to Governor Nyesom Wike, okay, for making this happening. And thanks to our own principal Peter Obi and all his entourage. Thank you to the people of River State, okay, Port Harcourt people. We thank you. We love you so much. Thank you for having us. Yes, that happened today. All right. So you can watch that, and see, what happened. Again this week, there has been trending news all over the social media and some conventional media houses about certificate forgery and all that. We're talking about the presidential aspirant of APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There is news going around that he presented a forged certificate. Some people said, okay, there is news about him not working with Deloitte, as claimed. And there came a question of his real age. It's coming up again, all right? Because from the document that came out from the US regarding the issue of drug trafficking and all that, his age there happens to be different from what was contained in his affidavit of age declaration. So people are saying that perhaps this man has committed perjury. Well, we'll see how that goes. But Nigerians should start thinking, we need somebody that we know is antecedent. We have story of his history straight, not concocted. We need to look out for all these things. Okay, so these and more are things that happen. Maybe by time we come on Saturday, we'll look at more things. Maybe something will happen tomorrow and things that we couldn't cover. So welcome to this edition. I have with me Obinna, my colleague from Benin City, Edo State. Maybe you tell us, Obinna, how is Edo State? Last week, it was a shutdown Edo movement by the Labour Party and every good thinking Nigerian residents in Edo State. Peter Obi was their life. After that, we would like to know, what's the story in town? Or what's the aftermath? How has it been? Maybe in a minute or two, you can tell us what happened. Thank you. And then if we have other people coming up, please let them come online so we can review the session within this 1 hour. Go ahead, please, Obina.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tilo. I just wanted to confirm if you can hear me.
Okay.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Good evening from Benin. The situation report from today. Benin is quite interesting.
Yeah, maybe if you have to increase your mic a bit.
Okay. No, a few minutes ago we experienced a downpour in Benin, heavy downpour, and it's been interesting all the way. It's been talk of our principal everywhere, left, right, and center, and the talk of our one of our major opponents, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who climbed the stage at his visit to Plateau State, Jos, recently, where he had to address the people, and he formed a new political party in that means, which he made as a statement from his mouth as the PG-APC. So you see, the fact still remains the fact, which the people of Benin is currently talking about, is currently trending. The statement from the mouth of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress. And the visit of our principal last week was interesting, that the people of those states was so happy to receive him here. Our principal landed the day before the actual visit and had to touch down some other areas like Warri, and then finally came back to Benin on the day of the visit, being Friday, and he took off, started his journey from Auchi, visited Auchi, visited the Otairu of Auchi, and then he addressed the people in a bit. From there, moved to Esan Land, where he met with the Onoje of Esan Land, the Niger's palace. And then he was made to address the people of Esan Land right there in the palace. Although he wasn't able to get to the market square, which was prepared for him to address the people. There were so much crowd, even more than that, which met him at the Oloje's palace. So that was due to time factor, because he didn't arrive in those areas early enough. You know, our principal is needed everywhere because he's a man that the people believe in. He's a man that God has designed to change the situation of this country. So he processed from there and came to Benin. It was a bit late. We were already approaching about 4 p.m. at the time he arrived. So we quickly received him at the airport. We received him at Benin Airport, and on his arrival, he was received by both his vice president, who was already with us, his wife, and the members of the PCC committee, as well as state executive of Labour Party and the support groups, which was fully on ground. We received him and then processed immediately to the palace of the Oba of Benin. We had wise words from our monarch to our principal, where from that which was spoken by our monarch, it was confirmed that our monarch likes change in this country, and that our monarch is ready to support a man like Peter Obi, who is truly standing on his feet. Uh, this I can bring straight out with the question he asked him about the rejection of a land in Anambra State during his time as governor, when he was offered land and said he doesn't need that land, that the land should be given back because he will not be part of stealing from the government in the name of popularity or being governor of the state. The monarch of Omonobanedo asked him to confirm if he actually rejected that, because he himself saw the letter which was, issued by a principal, and the letter that was also issued to him telling him to possess that land. It was a shock. Like, do they see remain existing who still want to do things in this country? And finally, he advised him that he should go ahead with his character, and he should not allow any temptation of any kind to be on him when he gets to Aso Rock. And
wow.
then it was interesting, all ceremonies given to when the monarch receives you very well, means that your ideas, your ambition, what you have come for, it means that he's in support of you. So we then proceeded from there to the Baptist Convention Ground, where supporters of Peter Obi, both party-wise and support groups, were all crowded and waiting inside the ring. We processed them.
Wow.
And on a late time, for that matter, it was already 28 minutes past 6 p.m. when we arrived at Baptist Convention Ground. My brother, you need to see the crowd, my people. You need to see the mammoth crowd that welcomed our principal even at that late period. Even though they waited from morning till night, they still kept on waiting. If they were paid to wait for our principal, I am not sure anybody will be there by that time.
They would not wait. Yeah, they would not.
Because it is a sacrifice to change this country. Nigerians are willing to participate in anything that will turn this nation around. And the people of Edo State proved to our principal that they are fully obedient, that he can go to his house, put down his head, sleep and close his eyes, and wake up the next day and be in Aso Rock. That is what they assured him. Our principal, of course, was not happy that he didn't have time to, talk to the people of Edo and dance for them as he usually likes to do, but pleaded that he was going to definitely return to Benin again. This time, he will have time for interaction, the town hall meeting, and as well as the way forward for Edo State.
Very
it was quite interesting. It was interesting. Do you know that even after these old visitors ended, when people left the Baptist Convention Ground, this should be around past 7 p.m. Nigeria time. Do you know that so many supporters still proceeded to their own localities and kept on campaigning till about 9-10 p.m. that night? They were playing music in New Benin, Gobai, Head, Sapler Road, Airport Road. People still hang out on the way, jubilating over the presence of our principal. In fact,
let me ask you something.
I had something passionate from a woman there who said, "Oh God, thank you for making Peter Obi to surface in Nigeria at this time. That I know that if I die today, I die witnessing in Nigeria that becomes better for my children." She was so happy. So it was an interesting thing to experience. Those who missed it, I tell you, they missed so much that they need to do more. And that's not all. We are not stopping there. The city of Benin will be on it again on car rally on the 19th, where there will be massive car rally in the city of Benin. Everywhere in Benin will be choked with cars. In fact,
Wow.
this rally is going to be for our principal, Mr. Peter Obi. It is a way to continue the campaign. And those people are saying that they will not stop, they will keep on moving, keep on campaigning until Aso Rock is achieved. So it is interesting. And even at this moment today, there is still campaigns ongoing. In wards, there are campaign support groups, they are doing very well. Everybody are spending so much to make sure that a lot is achieved in 2023. And my simple word for all who have been supporting that you will not be unrewarded. The reward is a better Nigeria, and a better Nigeria we must see when the time comes. So
Exactly.
do you know that? Do you know that our governor of Edo State, who didn't release the stadium for us to be used, actually, we blame him for not doing that, but we still do not blame him in another hand. Why? Because you see, when a man, when you do evil to a man, you are promoting that man, you are telling the people that this is the best person. Do you know that something very current that is trending from the governor of Anambra State, Professor Soludo?
Yes.
His counter attack on our principal over certain things which is flying on the air. Do you know that our principal, even before he replied, like 1,000 persons have given reply to Soludo, and people are still replying him up to this moment, including Governor Wike, who you will not even expect that we speak in favor of our principal. Governor Wike spoke today from the River State commissioning, where he received Mr. Peter Obi. My dear brother, and the people watching, Governor Wike is an obedient citizen. Despite the attitude that people seem to possess, he is a wise man, and he knows very well that a better Nigeria will benefit both him and every one of us. And he really wants better Nigeria. So I want to congratulate him on all that he commissioned, all his projects, and the good things he has been doing for the people of River State. And I want to commend our principal, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, who has been doing so much for us all Nigerians. He has opened our eyes, and he will keep on telling us and doing things that will make us know that Nigeria can be great again. From Edo State here, it's been interesting. It's an interesting day. And like I said before, the topic of now is Soludo and PDAPC from Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And Edolites have promised that they will not rest until Nigeria is achieved. I tell you, 99% of those living in Edo are obedient. Being you, we are not talking about ethnicity. Everybody, we identify each other as man. So everybody in Edo State, 99% are obedient. Everyone in Edo State likes good things and wants a better Nigeria. So a better Nigeria, I know that we will definitely get, and that we will achieve through our principal, Mr. Greg Peter Obi. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you, Obinna. The information you just gave us now is heartwarming. To know that our lovely brothers and sisters in Edo State are fully obedient, and they've not missed any opportunity to show it. It's a public knowledge, actually. You know, the love for a man that represents your interest, and our interest to have a Nigeria that we will all be proud of. A Nigeria where things work. A Nigeria where justice, peace, and truth is promoted. And that is what we stand for. Imagine waiting from morning to evening, for a president to arrive. And when he finally arrived, of course, for not, being there on time wasn't just his intention, but because he had to show homage to who it is due to, the great Oba of Benin, and took time to answer his questions. Okay, and then finally he arrived at the venue. Of course, he was delayed on the road by the fans, and yet when he got there, everybody was happy. Nobody complained of being so late. Sure, they provided their own food, they got their own drinks and all that. Nobody was paid. This is organic. I love our people. Okay, I love our people. After this campaign, maybe I will relocate to Benin.
Do you know that I was forced to throw the bad things about Nigeria on the day our principal arrived? Because let me tell you something, Nigeria can be like America or even more than America.
Yeah.
It all depends on the oneness in mind and the willingness for all Nigerians to shun the act of corruption.
Yes.
And that
yes.
The leadership.
Yes, you're right. Our people can be patriotic. It's just that we need that leadership to be there. The right leader.
The humbleness, the way our principal was so humble that he had to kneel down to plead to the crowd at Baptist convention.
Wow.
My dear brother, you watched the clip, right?
Wow. Well, I can tell Nigerians that they haven't seen anything.
Nigerians I'm not sure in the history of Nigeria.
Oh, humble. Of course, you would have noticed it. A man that rich, a man that well traveled, well informed, still carries himself with humility.
Yes, it was so great. I tell you, that little action of our principal, so many people were crying. A man of this caliber kneeling down for us. How humble can any human be to ask?
I'm proud of him.
We are all proud of him. The people of Edo, people of Nigeria, everyone is proud of our principal. He is a great man, and he has no match. There's no match for him at all.
I'm proud of him. The fact that he bears the common man is what I give to him. Is really good. Okay, thank you, Obinna. With this, I think we are ready into the topic of today, reviewing the candidates. All right, now taking it further. This week, the governor of Anambra State, His Excellency, Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo, wrote, a rejoinder to his comment of last week, saying that it will be the investment is worth next to nothing. And in his write-up, he did say history records. He will not keep silent. That was a topic that most people thought was going to, bring in something that would help the nation. But the contents, like many people, judged, turned out to be an attack on the person of Peter Obi. And he said so many things, describing Peter Obi as playing a game with the people that they know the game they're playing. Now, I'm not going into the details of the letter, but then people's reactions to this letter. In Anambra State, as we speak, it's almost like if you want to curse somebody, you call the person Soludo. That's the situation right now. People are so disappointed. People are so angry with him that the respect that is meant for a governor is almost not there anymore. And one begins to ask, why is it so? It means that when you touch the apple of the people's eyes, then it's like fetching the ant-infected firewood. And then the lizards will come paying you courtesy. Of course, that's what has happened. And the man himself, Peter, will be so excellent in behavior, he didn't even respond in a sarcastic way. He didn't even retaliate. He respectfully described the governor, Soludo, as his brother, and that he has nothing against him. That he himself is a trader. Meanwhile, Anambra is now blessed with a professor. And God has given him opportunity to do better where he could not succeed. And he explained his investment in a very simple way, which is clear. Well, I don't know how these things happen, but then I love Peter Obi for being a gentleman, for applying courtesy, for conducting himself very well in the public. Imagine that we'll turn the table, all right, and say, Shiwaju gets this kind of attack, what will he do? Or Atiku gets this kind of attack, what will he do? Well, your guess would be as good as mine. Now, talking about the review of the candidates, how well have they done in this campaign so far? We have less than 100 days to the election, but so far, these candidates have gone to various states to campaign with their rallies and all that. Debates, town halls, meetings have been held, and with what has happened so far, how do we rate this candidate? That was the focus of the debate 2 nights ago on That Freeze Live. But looking at them, just this week, we saw what happened in Edo. We saw what happened today in River State. Sorry, but again, just yesterday, or was it the day before yesterday, we also saw what happened in Jos. Remember, that particular venue was used by Peter Obi a time ago, and it was so peaceful. People were happy, sang songs and all that. But Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was there. And what did we see? Objects were flying in the air. People were rebuking what they were making as claims as what they have done for this country, and there was violence. Okay? We haven't gotten detailed report of that, but the video clips we saw objects flying, stones and others flying in the air, in total rejection of the party APC. Okay, now, that was a campaign rally for the presidential candidate of APC. That speaks to the issue of the acceptability of the candidate by the people of Plateau State and Nigerians in general. Plateau State is governed by APC-led government, yet their candidate was not accepted, as was shown in the video. Again, we have had town halls meetings that held. The Nigerian Bar Association held theirs, Arise TV held theirs, and the others. But of all this, Peter Obi has attended all. Atiku attended a few. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has attended none. Can it be said that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has fared very well? Some people will say none at all. Can it also be said that Atiku Abubakar has fared very well? Some people will say abysmal. Can it be said that Peter Obi of Labour Party has fared very well? People say yes. He attends and he takes time to explain himself. Aside what happened in Arewa Forum, where all the candidates, at least the major leading candidates, right, took time one after the other to explain what they had. There is no other place you had the three of them there at the same time. Now, that's about the candidates as far as town halls, meetings, and forums are organized. Now, talking about how these candidates address the people, we have listened to Peter Obi, as well as Atiku Abubakar and Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Of course, one person has been there. We've listened to them. The Christians will say, what's in the Bible? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So when someone talks, you know where he's coming from. The poll, public opinion, is saying that Peter Obi is the man that speaks the language of the people. He speaks with respect. He speaks with patience. He speaks with understanding. He does not attack other candidates. He speaks to the issues, what the country needs to move forward. All right. He has not abused the people, unlike a video clip that showed where Bola Ahmed Tinubu was telling Nigerians, if anybody asks for a change of government, that his supporters should tell them that they want to be polite, but please shut up. And these are the same people you are asking to vote for you. Does this spell well for you? that you are telling the same voters to shut up? That's tyrannical. Or are you saying that you don't need their vote? Perhaps you have something else in mind and people want to know. Okay. There is also the saying that everything about him is lies and deceit and all that. Okay. His primary school is not known. His secondary school is not known. Even there is something going on online now that the certificate is presented claiming to have gone to a high school in Chicago. It's not real. You know, a whole lot of things. But we need clarification. It's important that they come out to clarify this so that Nigerians will know the truth. Okay? Now, P2B has been checked severally and is no longer an issue, whether he went to school here or wherever he went to school and what he came out. That is given. It's not like the best educated, okay, would be the best to perform, but at least it speaks volume of integrity and character. There is also a rumor that the Deloitte are saying that they don't know him. The latest today now is that a female had the name Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Chicago school until a certain man came and usurped the name. So what is what? We don't understand. Okay, so it's a call for concern. Well, anyway, coming to Atiku Abubakar, he has appeared in various in several places and has spoken to Nigerians. But again, people are saying that for him to speak at the Arewa Consultative Forum, he said, don't need a president from Igbo extraction. Don't need a president from the South or Yoruba. That did not need a president who is from the North, and that is what he presents. Well, many people have interpreted this statement to be tribal. And there is also this general perception that he is not a unifier, contrary to what his supporters have been saying, meaning that PDP is still having internal crisis pronounced. The G5 governors and their followers who are saying the right thing has to be done. Agreement is agreement. And some will sing like Wike, as they pain them, he go to sweet us. So, if he hasn't been able to unite the party, how will he be able to unite the country? So it sounds like it's fallacious, as some people will say. But then, the general perception is that Atiku has not spoken to issue, and Nigerians want him to speak to issue. Let Nigerians understand how he wants to uplift them from the current situation and make life better for the people. Talking about making life better for the people, there is an ongoing conversation, and opinions are huge, that the coming election is not between parties, that the coming election is a war between the poor Nigerians, people who are impoverished, who are hungry, against the few elites who have held this country for a very long time and taking the wealth of this country into themselves. Recently, you see bundles of money, different denominations and different currencies. Many of them rotten, many of them spoiled. And someone said, okay, there was one with a wrap from defunct Oceanic Bank that closed as far back as 2011, Oceanic Bank. And you have money that contains the wrap. What's going on in this country? And these are money stacked away by people believed to be politicians, people who are believed to not have an investment that justifies this stack of cash. It's appalling what is happening in this country. You are a politician. You are supposed to lead the people. You are supposed to help make life better for the people of Nigeria, the good people of this country. And you have money stacked away from the system, kept in your house, kept in safety tank, kept in wherever, God knows where. And then you enter your SUV, tinted, drive through the streets of this country, and you see people begging for a meal people begging for 5 naira, people begging for 10 naira, and you pass them, wave at them with your big tummy and big babariga and senator clothes, and you hardly stop to give them, even if it is 50 naira. You will not. And you have the mind. After seeing all these people, you pack money and keep somewhere. Oh no, what's happening? This is wickedness. This is man's inhumanity to man. So that's why perhaps people are saying that this coming election is a war between the poor and the wicked rich in this country. Somebody will have a whole lot of assets back somewhere. He's not building industries. He's not doing anything to employ the people. And he's having money. He travels abroad for medical checkup and all that, has generator, and everything is supplied for him. Oh no. What would the world be thinking about this country? The videos are not one, neither are they two. There are so many of them, because the CBN has said we are cutting off time 30th of January next year for the desired naira to be in circulation and the old naira not to be used again. And so people appear to be trapped in their evil of taking money away. And the worrying thing is that you do all these things and you still walk the street, drive the street, and you see people who are in penury. You don't even give 1 naira to the beggars on the street. And during election, you bring 1,000, 2,000 naira to buy votes from them. So the masses have woken up. Sometimes you hear people say, oh, the masses are the obedient. You say the obedient, they insult people, they are doing nzobu, like the governor of Anambra State wrote. That if you don't support their candidate, they're against you. It's not so. The truth is that people, the bourgeoisie, don't want to say it the way it is. The people have risen against the wicked tyrants. They have risen against the oppression. They've risen against the injustice. They've risen against corruption. They've risen against malpractices that have been taking place in this country. And they said, we are contesting. They've only looked through the candidates and they've seen one man that believes in what the people believe in. And that is Peter Obi. He represents the people's desire. So they have made him the physical appearance of the inward thoughts in the hearts of the people. I say, you be the driver, lead. But we are the ones contest. You remember when he was insulted some months back? And then he came up and said, please allow me to respond to whoever speaks to me. Now the obedient said, no, sir, sorry, you are the leader, but you won't tell us what to do now. Anybody that insults you, okay, have to face us because you are not the one contesting. This is our movement. You are only a representative. It's obvious many people have forgotten this. I mean, those who do not really want to bother about the well-being of the people of this country. But then, this is the review. So, where are we going to? So far, we have seen who is standing on the side of the people and not on the side of the bourgeois. And the people are saying, we are not done yet. We are still coming out. Look at what happened in Edo State. And then look at what happened in River State today. P2P is not a name of a man anymore. P2P means a new, prosperous, and serious Nigeria. That is what the name Peter Obi means. And that's why everybody shouts, Obi, Obi, Obi. Obi stands for a new, prosperous, serious, corruption-free, and committed Nigeria. That's what the name Obi means. Okay, so we've said it this way, and we look forward to have more revelation coming from the people. We also want to see more reactions as we get close to the election. Remember, INEC has displayed the temporal the preliminary voter register, and you have a responsibility to go through it. You can go to the words to look at what is displayed there, and then you can also go online, the INEC website, and look at what is there. Please identify underage voters or generally ineligible voters, identify mistakes, and make the complaint using the provided channels so that INEC can update and give us what is correct. There is complaint that in some places, parts of the country, that there are underage voters that have already been identified on the register. Please don't just identify. Make your observations known using the right channel. Talk to INEC, write letter, okay, and mention which unit, which number, and all that, okay, so that they can correct it, remove what is not supposed to be there, and give us what represents a true voter register according to age and time. So please do not forget. Hurry, do that. Do it tonight. Go to the website, pick it, do it tonight, and submit this thing tomorrow. And it continues into next week. Also, going to the state INEC offices, you can do that. You and I have the responsibility to help make our electoral system more reliable, make it efficient, so that we'll get correct data. Okay, don't sit on the fence. It's no longer time to sit on the fence. People ask questions whether their vote will count. You will make your vote count by doing what you ought to do. Get your PVC. Go out there, cast your vote, protect your vote, ensure that nobody rigs the election in your polling unit. Okay, you can make it count, and then you will have the right to make your demand from the government, because the government will be operating with your mandate. Let's change this country. Let's make it better. Now, another aspect of this review is the health of the candidates is important. We live in a world where a lot of diseases have come out, and the viruses are there and all that. And this same world where development, technology is moving at the speed of light. Okay, so the evolution is on the high speed right now. Now, it requires a man or woman of health, sound health of body and mind to lead a country. Not someone who is heading to retirement or who has already retired. We need to have people who can operate the computer late into the night, who can process information, several of them. You can imagine the level of information and the magnitude of information that comes to the desk of the president of a nation. And ours is a nation with over 200 million people. Okay, so that tells you what the president of this country will have to battle with. And this is the time, not just about 200 million people plus, but also the kind of information that they get, because there is so much poverty in the land. So a lot needs to be done. Comparatively, who among these candidates are of good, sound health of body and mind? Some people say that why Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not been appearing in various functions as demanded is because he's not strong. Good man, oh yes, but that his health is failing him compared to what is required to run this country. Now, is that what we will need to have? Because after the election, swearing will take place and the work starts in earnest. All right? Now, can he do that? Do we need a go slow in this country again? We have so much to catch up with. We've been left behind by the world. We need to wake up and we need to run fast to close the gap and then meet up with the rest of the world. So we need a leader that can be awake, that can be active, that will not govern from inside. It needs to be out there with us. Some people say Atiku is still looking healthy, but you remember we have seen his dance video. Was it dancing like somebody who is strong? Okay. And some other people say, oh, yes, we've seen Peter Obi. He's everywhere. Even when he's getting down from the plane, he jumps the staircase. Anyway, it's not only about physical health, but mental health. People who comport themselves, people who give us statistics, and they are fact-checked, and they're seen to be correct. All right. That shows that Peter Obi is both physically and mentally healthy. He's very sound. Comparatively, he's the man that can lead. That's on the health side of it. Now, talk about international policy, diplomacy. There are already accusations and indictments on Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There is also accusation and perhaps indictment on Atiku Abubakar. Okay, so many things. But who will the world look at us and say, okay, fine, you have made the right decision as a country by choosing this person as your president? People are saying that Peter Obi has been found blameless. And so he can go to any part of the world and be able to attract concerns and interest and support, grants from the international community and the first world countries. You can go to America, you can go to Switzerland, Canada, UK, France, call it. Recently, a state in America gave him an honorary citizenship position. Well, that's a confirmation. However you look at it, they wouldn't have given him if he has anything hanging on his neck. So that is for Peter Obi. And then we also have to recognize that even here in the country, nobody has said he's not a good man. But then, Nigerian politics as it is, some people want to click it, even though they don't have what it takes. For every point in time, a nation needs a particular kind of leader. And Peter Obi is actually the kind of leader that this country needs at this point in time. So this review will continue after today, maybe after some weeks of the debates, analysis, and all that. We'll now come back to do a second round of this review. But so far, this is what we have done. We want to thank you for being part of this, and we are looking forward to get your inputs, your contributions to make this session good. Remember, this is Team Peter Obi Dati live, and we come online by this time every Thursday, and by this time every Saturday also. On Thursdays, we hold this debate review session. Then on Saturdays, we'll have our guests coming live to explain some things as pertains to the coming election and the election hearing. So we encourage you to join us. You can join us via our handles on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. We are live all through. Then, do not forget to join us on Tuesdays, every night, midnight, on Daddy Freeze Live, where we slug it out with other supporters, supporters of Team Asiwaju and Team Atiku. It's very interesting. Very interesting. It's not just a debate. We also use that forum to educate Nigerians, tell you things you do not know, because Team Obi conducts detailed research, very in-depth. We conduct that research on our principle and other principles. I'll tell you why it is important that we support Peter Obi with everything that we can to ensure that we'll take back this country and build it. It's not too late to build this country. Nigeria can be great. We can be great again. We can get like Dubai. We can get like Malaysia, even better than that. We can look at Singapore. Nigeria is great. So it's important that everybody gets off the fence, takes a position, and work together. We are one. Whether you are from the north or you're from the south, south, southeast, northeast, northwest, wherever, we are one people, because we buy bread at the same price and we'll carry the same international passport. The identity is the same. So we need to take back this country and make it what we want it to be. And I'm sure that what you want is a country where there is security of lives and properties. A country where there is investment, and there are jobs. A country where there is good health provision system. A country where we have good social setting, where people can talk meaningfully. A country where infrastructure is not lacking. So this is where we want to be. And I thank you for being with us. It seems we have our leader on board now to say a word. Well, we actually having about 3 minutes to 10. So yeah, Lady Priya is with us. Lady Priya, good evening. Good to have you.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me? Sorry
yeah, we can hear you very well.
Yes, since our clocks went back, our time changed. It's been harder to meet up, but we thank God.
Okay.
I really want the review because, of course, because we had the candidate review 2 days ago, by any means possible.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, yes. Already. I'll just say 2 things. Number 1, please do your best to make offices accountable because of their you are seeing going on. If you can go on the INEC website and review the publicly made available for all of us to view and report any or any discrepancies that you might observe. We had to our process that our only concern shouldn't be but how the entire democratic process will play out. Each and every Nigerian that is going to vote that day will have their votes count, their vote to mean something, as opposed to, long time Nigerians had voter apathy and wouldn't turn up for elections. But now that we want to be involved in the political process and the entire conversations, it's important that we do not allow INEC to as a whole. So please, in your spare time, if you can go to the INEC website, voters register, and collectively there's a button there that you can use to report any funny registrations that you might know for part of the country you think you're in. Don't think it's happening in only one part. It's actually please kindly get involved in the conversation today. If you're not a voter, get involved in the conversation. It's time for all of us collectively involved, for all of us to put our voices out there, for all of us by way of having a political atmosphere at the moment. Please don't step away, don't give up easy, and we have personal commitments, but remember that if Nigeria succeeds, it will be better for all of us, both in and out of Nigeria. None of us will be left. And kindly join our live from time to time, YouTube, Instagram, or on Facebook. We have these on Saturdays, and please come and join the conversation. Tell us what comments, We'll be more than happy to review all of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lady Priya. Lady Priya just spoke to us from Canada. Of course, she doesn't ever rest on this because she's so in love with Nigeria. Our home country is important to her and to all of us. So thank you so much, Lady Priya. By the grace of God and with our efforts, we'll get it right this time around, so that when you are coming to Nigeria, you won't be worried about insecurity anymore.
Amen. I hope to see a good Nigeria in my lifetime. It's with everything going on, we are speaking about other candidates that it should be a no-brainer. Peter Obi is the only person. I'm not saying that other people are not human, no, but he's fit to serve you now. That will serve you with at least some dignity compared to these people, these other candidates, where their identity about them is questionable. It is sad that we even have them on the back. But unfortunately, they are there. They are there, and INEC is completely candidates, but they are right there on the ballots. You know, and it's an experience. The average Nigerian that works hard, the average Nigerian, that classic Nigerian that does, even the talent, people with talent, the creatives, the athletes, white, green, every time they have to participate internationally in competitions, every time they have to perform, they call them Nigerian performing artists. It is part and one comes to offer themselves to serve you, to come correct. The person has to come right. The person has to come fit. So if the person doesn't present themselves with these four things, it's useless. It's very useless, and it's an insult, because we work hard in our day-to-day lives, and we it's like a badge. So any stain on it should bother you. It should give you sleepless nights that we even have these things exist. Politicians to higher standards, and this doesn't go to only presidential candidates, your state governor, your House of Assembly members, local government chairmen, even your councillors at your ward, higher standards, so that we can do better as a whole. Thank you.
Very important. Very important. Thank you, Lady Priya. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Gentlemen and ladies, this is where we'll close it for tonight. Please do not forget, we'll never get done until it's done. We'll keep fighting. We'll keep doing what we should. And we have the responsibility to bring what we know and make it known to others too. So on this platform, we'll continue to inform Nigerians very well and make sure that nobody is left behind as far as knowledge is concerned. We are also embarking on door-to-door campaigns where we speak to everybody that we can, and it's not just us. You can be an ambassador of this movement. Join us, okay? Go to our social media handles on the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even on YouTube, okay? This Team Peter will be live. So you go there and join us. Like our page, share as widely as you can, all right? It's there on the screen, so you can go there and join the movement. Also speak to that person next to you in your classrooms, in the market, in the church, and in your immediate neighborhood. Just talk to somebody about this, all right? And tell the person to also talk to the next person. We must have this done and done successfully between now and the Christmas, so that into the new year, we'll be having a new feel, right? And then by the time Valentine is up, we can celebrate this Valentine in a grand style. We are true love that comes from the heart. We'll be in the air because we will be looking at the promised land and be sure that we are stepping into the promised land as the people of Nigeria. It's very important. So get involved. It's not time to sit on the fence anymore. So from here, it has been with me here, Priya from Canada and Obinna from Benin City. I remain your fellow compatriot and obedient servant. My name is Tochukwu, and this is where I say good night and have yourself a good night's sleep. We'll see you again on Saturday, same time.
Good night.
Goodbye. Good night.
Good night, everybody.